Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. If you're in Nigeria, good afternoon to you. And then if you are in other countries, good day, good day. So we're live now, and then today we'll be discussing on the topic of the illusion of the pool of Bethesda, right? The illusion of the pool of Bethesda. And then I'm not doing these alone. I'll be bringing in my friend, my brother Wisdom. He'll be joining me today, so we can check it together and take a look at it together. So any moment from now, I'll bring in Brother Wisdom. Just like I said, I'm not doing these alone. So before we start, as we're waiting for all other people, if you're waiting for all other people, if you're just joining us, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Brother Wisdom, you ready for this? Brother Wisdom, are you ready for this? I'll be bringing in Brother Wisdom anytime from now. Well, let's just wait for people to join us so we can kickstart it. So the illusion of the Pool of Bethesda. Without wasting our time. I know Brother Wisdom can't wait for this. Okay, let me bring in Brother Wisdom. Brother Wisdom is ready for this. Okay. So today, our reference today is the story in John chapter 5. John chapter 5. If you check John chapter 5, there was a story there that talk about a man that has been there for over 30 something years. So, Bro Wisdom, let's bring you in so we can start. Our reference is John chapter 5. So if you're with your Bible, you can Bro Wisdom, I hope you can see me clearly.
Yes. Perfectly.
Okay, good. Okay,
Perfectly.
Good. You're welcome. You're welcome here. You're welcome.
You can hear me clearly, right?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly too. So you're welcome, brother.
No buffing.
And no buffing. Everything is clear.
All right. Beautiful.
Yeah, people are joining us already. So we just kickstart, and so we won't waste people's time. So we just kickstart. John chapter 5. This story is about a man, right? That's been. Although I'm still going to read it, I'm going to run through it. I will run through the story. Then,
yes.
Then we now talk about it. We shall understand about it. So let me just run through the story. John chapter 5 from verse 1. I'm using ESV. Bro, let me just run through it first. Then by the time we read the second time, we'll be picking stuff from it. You get. Let me
Okay.
just run through it
All
first
right.
so that people can have clear understanding about the story
Okay.
first.
Okay.
Yeah, let me
Go
just
ahead.
see. Okay,
Go
are you
ahead.
seeing my screen very well?
No, you need to bring it down a bit.
Down a bit, like this.
Down a bit again. So all of us, so we can all see it. A bit down again.
Okay, like this.
Mm, yes, yes, yes. Now we're good to go.
Perfect,
Yes,
right?
good. Beautiful. Yeah,
Okay.
beautiful, beautiful.
Now this is a story. Let me just run through it. That Jesus healed a man at a pool, right? John chapter 5. It said
Yes.
later, after these things, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for a special feast, right? That's the feast of the Jews.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
two, he said in Jerusalem there is a pool with five covered porches, right? Which is called
Yes.
Bethesda, a pool of
Yeah.
water north of the temple through to have curative powers. Curative power, right? In the
Okay.
Hebrew language, referring to
Yes.
Aramaic, the native English of the Jew at the time, right? He said the pool is near the sheep gate. Welcome everybody that is just
Yes.
joining us. So we are reading John chapter
Yes.
5. We are in verse 3 right now. He said many sick people were lying on the porches beside the pool. Some were blind, some were crippled, and some were paralyzed. And they waited for the water to move. So people were waiting for the water to move, right?
Yes.
You know, says
Yes, sir.
sometimes, this is verse 4 now. You know, says sometimes at a certain time, from time to time, an angel of the Lord came down to the pool and stirred it up and stirred up the water. So after the angels did this, the first person go into the pool was healed
Okay.
from any sickness he had. So
Okay.
whenever this angel come, he stir this water. Then when he stirred it,
Okay.
whosoever that go into
Okay.
this pool first will be healed.
Okay.
So verse
Okay.
5 now.
This is
Now said a
NLT,
man
right?
was this is EXB expanded.
This is EXB.
Yeah,
Expanded.
EXB.
Okay.
Yeah, expanded version.
Expanded say an angel of the Lord. Okay. All right.
Exactly. We'll check
Okay.
it.
Others said an angel. Others said an
Okay.
angel. They didn't specifically say an angel of the Lord. They just said an angel.
Okay. Okay. Others
All
say
right.
an angel. Okay. Okay. If you are there, let me just pass this information. If you are there, you can share this video so that your friends too, your people too, can be able to see this video and learn from it. You can click on your share button. It will take you more than 1 second. Just click on the share button, then share this video so other people too can be able to see this video. So let's continue, sir.
All right. Go ahead.
So we're in verse 5 now, right? You now said,
Yes. Go ahead.
a man was lying there who had been sick. That is, he has been invalid, he has been disabled for 38 years. So this man has been there for 38 years. He has been
Yes.
lying there. Verse 6
Yes.
now said, when Jesus saw the man and knew that he had been sick,
This thing is
he
disturbing
had
me.
been disabled for such a
All
long
right.
time, Jesus asked him, do you want to be well? So Jesus came and saw this man, right? He came and saw
Yes.
this man, and he saw that he has been ill, right, for
Yes.
38 years. And then he asked him, do you want to be well? See the man response, verse 7. He said, the sick man answered him, sir, there is no one to help me get into the pool when the water
That's
starts
right.
moving. That is when the water starts stirring, right?
Yes.
And I said, while I'm coming to the water, someone else always gets in before me.
Okay.
So before this man could jump into the water, whenever the angel of the Lord stirred the water, someone always gets there before him. And remember, anyone that gets into the pool first, that's the person that's going to be healed.
Yes.
Verse 8 now. And I said, then Jesus said to him, stand up, rise, pick up your mats, which is the bed, right, and walk. Verse 9. And immediately the man was well. He was healed. He became whole. He picked up his
That's
mat
right.
and began
That's
to
right.
walk. This
That's right.
the day this happened was a Sabbath day.
Yeah.
So the Jews, the Jewish leader, they said to the man
Mm.
who has been
Mm.
who had been healed, the man who had been healed, right? Today is the Sabbath.
Mm.
It's against our law for you to carry your
Mm.
mat on the
Mm.
Sabbath.
Mm.
Then, but the man answered. The man answered and he said,
Mm.
"The man who made me well, the
Mm.
man who made me well told me that I should pick up my mat and go." So that's the end
Mm.
of the story.
And go. Yes. 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 That's right. That's right.
So
Fantastic. Fantastic.
that's that's the story. That's the story. You know, in hope.
Okay.
John chapter 5, from 1 to 11.
Okay.
So our topic is the
Mm.
illusion of the pool of Bethesda, right? We
Yes,
have
sir.
uh, we have
Yes.
we have is it three characters we have in this story? We have the man
Yes.
who has been sick for 38 years, right?
Yes.
Our first pointer is the man who has been sick for 38 years. Then the second one,
Yes.
we have Jesus Christ, the person
Yes.
that healed him, right? That made him whole.
Yes.
Then the third
Yes.
one, we have the angel of the Lord.
The
We have the
angel.
angel of the Lord who always
The
comes to
angel.
stir up the water, right?
The angel.
The angel of the Lord. so
We
so
have
so
the
so
angel.
the angel of the Lord who always comes to stir up the water. So, bro, wisdom, what's your
Okay.
take? What's your take on this story? What's your take? What are the things we have to look first? What are the things that we have to check first in reading this
Okay.
story?
All right. You can hear me, right? Can you hear me very
Yeah, I
well?
can hear you perfectly. Yeah, very.
Okay. All right. Okay. So first of all, before we go on, let's put things in place first.
Okay.
Firstly, that word illusion that is the caption of this broadcast.
Yeah.
Illusion. First of all, I want to interpret that word illusion before we move on.
Okay.
Now, that word
Okay.
illusion means a deceptive appearance or impression.
Okay.
Okay, it's a deceptive appearance or impression, or a wrong or misinterpreted perception of an experience, of a sensory experience.
Okay.
You understand? So that means around this whole event now, what we're going to uncover is that there is a deceptive appearance around this pool. There
Okay.
is a deceptive appearance around this pool that Jesus ignored. He didn't even talk about it. In fact, when the
Okay.
man
Okay.
made reference to it,
I
Jesus
like what you
even
said.
moved
I like
on.
what you said. I like what you said. You
Mm.
said a deceptive experience, right? Which
Yes,
Jesus Christ himself ignored, right?
yes, yes,
Which Jesus Christ himself ignored.
y-
Continue, sir.
yes, yes. So around this thing is going to the background of this pool now. Going to the background of this pool in John 5. And from the scripture where we're reading, of course, this is possibly one of their famous pool
Okay.
around the temple. Okay, this is in Jerusalem. Okay, because verse 1 shows us that Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now, what
Yeah.
we're going to show from this is that the illusion that people, because this thing is currently happening in our society and is
Okay.
happening to believers specifically right now, and not just to believers alone, it's happening generally within the society. People are being
Okay.
caught up in various illusion,
Okay.
various illusion. All right, there are things that they have interpreted as a result of an experience,
Okay.
as a result of an experience. But God, the interpreting God is beyond an experience. God is a revelation.
Interpreting God is beyond an experience. Good.
Yes, it's beyond an experience. Anybody can have any experience. You can have any experience. Even Satan gives people experiences.
Oh yes.
Satan also gives people experiences. Anybody can have any experience. We are not saying you didn't have experience. No doubt you had an experience. You can have any experience. But knowing whether it is God that is involved inside that experience is another question.
Okay. Knowing whether God is the person involved inside that experience.
Yes, in that
That's
experience.
what matters. Okay.
That's what matters. That's another thing. Okay, you can have an experience. So now we are not going to interpret God by sensory perceptions. That means it's not going to be because of an experience. Someone jumped into a pool and then will now say, this is God. Someone jumped into the pool and then he came out of the pool. And then the person now walk out there will now say, oh, this is God.
Okay.
We are going to interpret that pool, the scenario around that pool.
Okay.
All right. So here is what is happening here. So this pool, according to the Hebrew word, the Hebrew tongue that is called in verse 2, that is called Bethesda. All right.
Bethesda, yeah.
Yes, Bethesda. Talking about a flowing water. It would mean house of mercy or a flowing water. All right. Or probably a house of kindness. A house of kindness where this water issues out from. Okay.
Yeah.
And it has five porches.
5 porches, yeah.
All right. Yes. 5 porches. All right. So it now says in verse 3 that in this lay a great multitude of impotent
Which version are
folks.
you reading, sir?
I'm reading King James.
Okay, King James, okay.
Yes, I'm going with King James because I want to go. King James is older than all those other references and translations.
Okay.
I want to go with King James for now. Okay. So I'll be able to know which words were directly the words and the ones that translators added for better understanding.
Okay.
Right? So he now says, in this place lies a great multitude of impotent folks, of the blind, the hot, the withered, waiting for the moving of the water. Now, he now said, this is John giving us an experience. Now we are listening to John, the writer. Okay. This is John, the writer, giving us an experience. He's telling us the narration of this thing. It's not the man. It's not this man that is giving the narration. It's John that is giving the narration. So John now told us that for an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. John is telling us an angel, no doubt. An angel went there and troubled the pool. Okay, we'll take the writer by his own account because he's the one giving us the account. So we cannot say there was no angel.
Okay.
All right. There was an angel. We'll take the account based on what he provided for us. Then he now say, whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we'll reduce that music a little bit, like it's coming out a bit louder.
Okay, continue, sir.
Okay. He said, whosoever stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. Now, here is where this thing began for us in that verse 4 and in that verse 3. Now, Jesus now came to this place and announced there was a certain man that was laying there in verse 5 who has been there with an infirmity for 38 years. Now, this man had been sick for 38 years and all his life is only waiting once a year for the goodness of God to show up.
Okay.
He's waiting once a year for the goodness of God to show up. You understand? Once a year for the goodness of God to show up. Now, that alone puts God on a question line. So are we to wait for God in seasonal time once a year? Once a year. These people, you can imagine the number of people that gather around this pool. These are all battered people. These people have been battered.
Bible said there are people with different kind of disease. Some are blind, some are lame, some are paralyzed.
Yes.
All of them, they gather, multitude of sick people. They gather around this pool, right? And they are waiting for an angel that always comes once in a year.
Once in a year.
Once in a year to stir up the
once
pool.
In a year.
And then not only that, sir, not only that, it will come once in a year, and after I set up the pool, everybody will be well. Everybody will be healed, right? The first person that jumped in there, only one person.
Only one person will be healed once in a year.
So we have to question. We have to question God goodness in that sense. If God can be healing only one person in a year.
In a year. Now, here is this man. Jesus came and met this man by the pool who has been there for 38 years. Very simple question. Jesus asked him, man, do you want to be healed? Do you want to be whole? Do you want to be well? All right. He said, will thou be made whole? Would thou be made whole? Now listen to the excuse, right? The man. Yes. Verse 6 now. Then the man now answered him and said, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another man. You see, why? So whenever this water is troubled, this guy will be running towards the pool. He's already impotent with an infirmity. So he said, why he's trying to go, another person for 38 years, every year, why this man is trying to enter a pool, another person will quickly jump before him and enter inside the pool. Then because this man has to wait.
He was a sick man already. You get? You can't expect. So okay. Let me give you a scenario, right? For example, I'm in a gathering with someone who is a lame, right? He's a lame, and me, it's just one eye that one of my eyes is not seeing, right? So, and they told us that whosoever that get there first will be healed. Someone that is lame, for sure. If my other eye, one eye that's not working, definitely I will get it before the person. So this man has been there for 38 years, waiting for for their God, who only come once in a year to heal them. Right?
Yes.
Once in a year to heal one person. So
one person.
Maybe it's truly God. Maybe it's truly. Let's continue, sir.
Yes. So we'll check if this is truly God, because this man, remember, this man, he's a Jew. This man is a Jew. His parents were Jews. Okay. Down in the context, we found out later that this man was a Jew and his parents were also Jew. So this man was not a foreigner. So to this man also belonged the promise of the covenant. To this same man also belonged the promise, all the promises that were given to Moses.
Exactly.
All the promises that Moses actually gave to Israel. The promises of various goodness, the goodness of God and the healing of God. Okay. To this same man, all of these were given. This man also had the prophets.
Exactly.
Okay. He had the writings of Moses, he had the prophets with him. So all of these were given to this man. And in the interpretation of this man and even all those people that are around that pool, God only sends in his angel once in a year to come and stir a pool. And then when he stirs that pool, only one person will get healed. Then that angel will return again.
The angel will return and come back
another year. To come back another year. So here is this man. This man, Jesus is asking him, man, do you want to be made well? And the man is telling Jesus, I have nobody to push me into this pool whenever this pool is dead.
So why was he talking like that? Because he has been brainwashed, right?
Yes.
There was an illusion.
There was an illusion around the pool.
Exactly. He has been brainwashed. Just like the other day, sorry for chipping this in. The other day, I was listening to one of the TV programs, and then they went to this city, all this media crew, they went to this city. And then in that city, there were a whole lot of catfish in their pond, in their like a water, like their whatever they are calling it, right? And then the people in the village, they said they are not eating the fish. That their forefathers, they got that from their forefathers, that they should not be eating the fish. Catfish. You understand? But there was an illusion around it.
There was an illusion.
They built an illusion around it that they should not eat that catfish. Fresh catfish for crying out loud. So same thing with this pool. There was an illusion around this pool that this angel always come once in a year. Angel from the Lord always come once in a year to stir up the pool, and whosoever that gets to that pool first will be healed. Then after that, everybody will just remain there. So this man has been there for 38 years. Sir, let me say this. I think we need to understand the character and the nature of God before we were able to interpret this story. We have to understand the character and the nature of God. Once we understand the character and the nature of God, we will see that would God be happy to be healing one person for just 1 year?
Yes, one person for 1 year.
For 1 year, only one person
Out
for
of
1 year.
out of so many, out of
Out
so
of the
many
multitude
people.
that
Yes,
were there.
out of so many people. So we
Yeah,
now
so if
found
you are
out
watching, if you're
we now
watching,
found
you
out.
can you can think about that. Will
Yes.
God be delighted, right? Will God be delighted in healing just only one person for just 1 year? When Jesus Christ came, he healed everybody. He said he healed those who are oppressed by the devil, right? Because the Spirit of God was with him. So now, and Jesus Christ is the reflection of God's, right? Jesus
Yes.
Christ is God in flesh. So
Yes.
continue, Robinson. Continue. Don't let me go. Don't let me go ahead of
I want to read something. I want to read something from James chapter 1 to set it
James
in
chapter
perspective
1.
about the
James
character of
1.
God, so we will know who this angel is coming from. Who is this angel that is causing this illusion?
James 1, which version are you using? Do you want to read from?
I'm using King James. I'm using King James today.
James 1 verse what?
James 1:17. James 1:16 actually. James 1:16. Let's start from 16. Let's start from 16.
Hold on, let me put it on the screen. James 1 verse 16.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. James 1:16. 16 and 17. Okay. Yeah, here we are. It said, do not.
Go on.
Okay.
Go
this
on.
is James 1:16 and 17, right? He said, do not hear, my beloved brethren. That's 16.
Do not be that word air. That word air. The word air there is plano. It's plano from the Greek. The word means do not be led astray.
Do not be led astray. Good.
Do not be led astray, my beloved brethren.
Exactly. 17. Every good gift and every aspect is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness.
Variableness, yes. Neither shadow of turning.
Exactly. Neither
shadow of turning. Now this sets the perspective. He now says that do not be led astray. And that word also means do not be led. You see, let me show you. Do not be led away from the truth. Do not be led away from the truth. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, continue, sir.
Okay. Do not be led away from the truth. Do not be led astray. Do not be led away from the truth. Why is James emphasizing this, my beloved brethren? Because a believer can be led away from the truth.
Exactly.
A man who has the covenant of God in his hands can be led away from the truth. Because this man had the laws, he had the promises, he had the covenant, he had Moses, he had the prophet. None of them could teach him properly. Not only him and all those people that were around that pool, none of them could give them a proper perspective of who God is. So these people were led astray. I don't know where they got this. This is why it's actually an illusion.
Bro, wisdom, I can't see you. I can't see you.
Oh, you can see me?
Yeah, I'm seeing you now.
Okay.
I'm seeing you now.
So he said, do not be led astray. Do not be carried away from the truth. So that means you can be carried away from the truth.
Okay.
And you can stay around something for a very long time, and you're doing that thing. You would think that thing is truth, but you didn't
Exactly.
know that you have been carried away from the truth.
Okay.
You have been carried away from the truth. Now, the promise of the Lord, of the character of God, who God really is, has been explained throughout the entire Old Testament for this
Entire
people.
scriptures.
Actually, yes, the entire scriptures. Okay, actually, there was no New Testament as of this time. There was only scriptures. All right. So let's say the entire scriptures. So the character of God, who God is, was clearly revealed all over the scriptures. All right. It was very evident to them all over the scriptures. Now, here is this man being carried away from the truth. And James is saying that every good gift and every perfect gift comes from above, from the Father of lights, with whom there is no shadow of turning. Now, that word shadow of turning means there is no, you don't see God as light today, then tomorrow he will now camouflage himself to another thing.
Exactly, as darkness.
As darkness. There's no camouflage. That's why I say neither a shadow. There is no single shadow of darkness to the character of God. No single shadow of darkness. So he now say God is pure light. The Father is light. That means the only thing that God can offer is light. Is pure light. Now, let's find out. This light that God offers, does he offer it once a year or he offers it every time?
Sir, that question, repeat it again. Does God offer that light once in a year, or did God offer the light every time? Exactly. Every time. Because remember what I said before we start the program? I said, for us to get a better understanding of this John chapter 5, we have to understand the nature and the character of God. Once we understand the nature and character of God, these are Pool of Bethesda. It's not be hard for us to interpret who is behind it and who is this angel too. You get?
Yes.
Okay, let me quickly say this too. Also, sir, there is one instrument, one tool that devil always use, and that that tool is ignorant. That tool is ignorance.
Yes.
Exactly. That's the tool of devil, right?
Yes.
So devil use that ignorance to put people in bondage.
Yes.
So once it puts people in bondage, now there is prey.
Yes.
There is prey. Right?
Yes.
And let me also say this: a devil can do a good thing for you, but he's doing that good thing for you to get a whole lot of more, to steal a whole lot of more from you.
Yes.
You get? If devil do a single good thing for you, he's going to get a whole lot more. Just note all the things I'm saying. We are going to connect it. I'm talking to my viewers now. Just note all the points I'm saying. We are going to connect it at the later on.
All right. Let me read this thing. Let me read this.
Let me quickly say this. Can you believe we spent 35 minutes already?
Okay. Really?
So let's just.
I'm imagining how a pastor quickly drop his own message within that short time. And then we go out, we are still asking ourselves, who is God?
Exactly. Because sir, it's good we create this foundation, man. It's good we create all this foundation so that it will help every other person.
Fundamentals.
Exactly, fundamental. It will help every other person if they come across other stories in the Bible, so they can know how to interpret,
how to separate God from illusion.
Exactly, separate God from illusion.
Yes.
You're saying something. Continue, sir.
Yes, I want to read what you said just now about Satan. I want to read what you said just now about Satan quickly. Really, I don't think because of time. Let's not go. I will just quote it. I'll quote it. I'll read it so people can take it down for reference. They can just note it. In Ephesians chapter number 4, verse 17, he said, "This I say therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their minds." All right. He now said, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from life of God. How were they alienated from the life of God? Listen to the next statement. He said, through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their hearts.
Exactly.
Because of the blindness of their heart. So these people, they were alienated, they were removed from the life of God because of the darkness that has covered their understanding. That has covered their understanding. So there is an ignorance at work in these people. Now, that's the same thing that was walking around these people that were hovering around this pool. They were all hovering around this pool, waiting for an angel of God, for the life of God. So we'll now find out the loving kindness of God, the life of God, and the loving kindness of God. Is it for a season? Is it for a day in a season? Is it for an hour or a minute?
Once in a year.
Once in a year. That means that minute that angel stirred that water, the minute that angel stirred that water. So is it for that minute? Then after that minute, the loving kindness of God ceases to operate, and then it will wait for another year again.
Another year.
Then it will wait for another year again. So what is the loving kindness of God? The scriptures tells us. Should I go in now?
Yeah, go in.
Because of time, I want us to run quickly. So because of time, the scripture shows us that the loving kindness of God is not for a season.
Exactly. Not that loving kindness of God, it's not for a season. Loving kindness of God, it's not for a season. It's not for a season. But most people don't know these things, right? So that is why whenever they read this portion in the Bible, especially John chapter 5, they believe, the angel of God always comes once in a year. So God will sit on the throne like this, and then God will be like, that angel, what's today's date? What's today's date? It's time to go and stir the pool. Now go and stir the pool for them. You get? So once in a year, once the angel now comes, I now say, Master, God, I've stirred the pool. I stirred it. It's only one person. As usual, one person that was ill today. Then God will now be like, okay, good. So wait till next year. Your assignment is finished for this year. So guys, are you guys? No, I'm talking to the viewer now. Are you seeing what we are seeing in this story?
Yes.
Because this story was recorded that the angel of the Lord always comes once in a year to stir the pool. Then we now start asking ourselves, is the goodness of God, is the kindness of God just once in a year? So do you know what worsened this? What the most worst part of it is that assume it's once in a year, then everybody now gets ill. It will be fine.
Yes. It will be fine. It will be fine because it has cleared the problem for that whole year for everybody.
Exactly. But the guy just show up, the angels just show up, and then only one person.
Only one person is healed. And then you take off.
To check, is that angel? So that the next question, sir, is that angel really from God? Right? Or is it? Okay, continue, sir.
Is it an illusion?
Or is it an illusion? Just like I said earlier. I said the instrument, the tools that devil always use is ignorant, right?
Yes.
It's ignorant.
Yes.
It's ignorant, right? Once you don't know something, once you don't have knowledge about something, then devil will play with your ignorance, and then he keeps you in bondage. See multitude of people that they were there.
Around the pool.
To come and stir the,
waiting for healing.
To come and stir the pool. Exactly. To come and stir the pool. So continue. I don't want to jump. I don't.
Don't jump. Please don't jump yet. Okay. Please don't jump yet. I'll read something from Psalms 103, verse 17. Psalms 103, verse 17. It says, the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him, and his righteousness unto children's children. Now, upon them that fear him, that means upon them that reference him. Now, you can see there was an illusion that this pool caused. The illusion that this pool caused is that this pool was not focusing the event, the experience that was happening around this pool was not focusing people on the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
It was not focusing people on the Lord. Now,
Mm-hmm.
reference this, there was nothing that this thing was doing that even gave credit to God at all.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing this pool was doing that it was giving credit to God. Rather, what this pool did was that it took their focus away from God. That's why I say Eleni. Oh, it removed their focus away from God and focused in that pool. And then bring their mind focused in that pool. And they have to wait just once a year. Just once a year to experience the loving kindness of God. Just once a year. Now, here is Jesus coming. Jesus is coming and he's Jesus is stepping in time, out of time. That means with God, there is no specific time. It can be any time. It can be any time. And Jesus is asking this man, do you want to be made well? This man now carried Jesus and said, sir, look at this pool. This pool, whenever this pool is stirred, there is nobody here that will quickly push me inside this pool. Before I can get to this pool, another person has already stepped in and the person is made well. So once the person is made well, I just go my own way and I wait by the pool again. I have to camp there again till next year again. I don't know whether it's going to happen in January or it's going to happen in March or it's going to happen in June. So in case I say, let me go home and come back, this thing can happen again because I don't know when it's going to happen. You understand? So, but here is the character of God. Here is the character of God that is without shadows, that is without turning.
Mm-hmm.
There is no turning. And David, by the Spirit of God, is telling us here that the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting. Unto them that reference him. Unto them that reference him. You see? But beyond that, Jesus now even came. Now, David is saying it's unto them that reference him. Now, Jesus now came and now showed us in the gospel that the loving kindness of God is not just to them alone that reference him. It's for everybody.
Everybody.
Oh. It's for everybody. Now, what that shows is that, now don't be confused by that two analogy I brought. What that shows is that if you read Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1, the writer of Hebrews said that the Old Testament prophets, they spoke truth in parts. That means some of the things they said were true about God. Some of the other things they said was their impression, their understanding. All right? They only wrote their understanding. Some of it was true about God. Some of it were not true about God. You understand? They were not true. Okay. So if you read Hebrews 1:1, and then he now said in verse 2, he said, now we expressly understand God in Christ Jesus, his son. He said, Jesus has revealed God to us expressly. You understand? So what we see about this pool is that it takes away God's focus. It takes away people's focus on God. People's focus on God and keeps them focused on a particular angel. One particular angel who they don't even know. They don't even know where this angel is coming from. Is this angel walking in darkness? Is this angel walking in light? John didn't give us details about that angel, so we don't really know much. But we can tell who this angel is by the character that this angel is displaying. Because even God in the Old Testament, in the wilderness, his loving kindness towards Israel, whether in the wilderness, in Canaan, and when they were in captivity, his loving kindness was together every time. So whenever they requested, yes, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I want you to elaborate on what you just said, that we would know, right, who this angel is working for.
Yes.
Right? We will know.
Yes, we will know who this angel is working for by the character. By the character he's displaying.
Exactly.
Yes, by the character he's displaying. So who is this angel that is walking around this pool, that is making people get healed only once a year? Now, Jesus, don't be flabbergasted by miracles. There is nothing spectacular about miracles.
Exactly.
Don't be flabbergasted. God, in fact, God does not even intend for you to know him by miracles. Don't be flabbergasted by that. So there's nothing spectacular about miracles. neither is there anything. That's why Jesus, if you read something spectacular happened in this place. After Jesus healed him, he just zoom.
He just go.
He just left. You understand? He just left. So there was nothing spectacular to celebrate about the man's miracle. What Jesus came there was to show the man God's consistency in his love. That God is consistent in his love and in his loving kindness. It doesn't matter how long it is. It's consistent. So it doesn't matter how long the situation is. It doesn't change. There's no situation that alters the position of God. That means there is nothing you will do that you will influence God's disposition to respond. No.
Exactly.
You understand? He is God by himself, and his disposition, his own now, his own state, his own now, his own state is by himself, in himself, by himself.
Exactly.
So
bro wisdom, man. Okay.
Yes.
So now let's connect all the dots. Let's connect all the dots together. All the things we have said, and now let's connect them together, right? I believe some of our viewers, most of our viewers, right, they would get the perception of where we are coming from.
Okay.
They would have been seeing some clue about what we are what they're saying, right? So
without telling you who this angel is, by now you should have known already.
They should have known already who this angel is. The angel that always
should have known who this angel.
Let me give you an example. Bro Wisdom, do you know that if, for example, now, if we are living together and I'm working in the place, right? And I'm getting a whole
Bro James is here. Welcome.
Welcome.
Salome is here. Welcome.
I'm going to bring you on later, right? So
Benjamin is here. Galaxy Benjamin is here. Odyssey is here. Wow. Lovely people. Izubiwa is here. Samuel is here. Glory is here as well. Wow. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Prince Will is here. Go on.
And I don't want you to know about the maybe job opportunity at where I'm working at. Do you know that I can be giving you money anytime I want to leave house in the morning? I'll be like, oh, bro James, take this 2K. I'm going to work. And then they need workers. They need workers in my place of work, right? And then because I don't want you to know, because if you go out yourself, you would know that, oh, they need workers. You too, you can be earning the millions.
The same amount, or probably bigger.
Exactly. But I'll just be giving you, oh, bro Wisdom, you need money for food, right? Tips, right?
I'll be giving you tips.
Exactly. What am I doing? I'm putting you in bondage, right?
Yes.
But to you, if you don't know, if you don't have knowledge about it, you'll be thinking, oh, I'm helping you, I'm helping you, I'm a good person. No. Same thing with the angel. The angels always come once in a year. And then instead the pool, whoever that get to the pool first will be healed. And then those people will be celebrating that, oh, they are healed this year. Oh, they will be waiting the next year. And millions of people, thousands of people are waiting, multitude of people, multitude of sick people, they are waiting around the pool, waiting for an angel. So is this angel really from God? Is this the character of God to be healing people every year? One person every year. Now let's connect all our dots together. Let's just connect all our dots together.
Yes. Now, certainly, to connect all this now, certainly without a benefit of doubt and in plain terms to say it, because we speak plainly, in plainness of speech. All right. So there is no hanky-panky about this. This angel is not from God. Okay. This angel is not from God. This angel is the working of an antichrist spirit. This is the working of an antichrist spirit. And what does an antichrist spirit does? An antichrist spirit removes your focus off from God. Yes. Remove your focus off from God, and it places your focus on things, on the things that your eyes can see, your hand can touch. Now, this is what currently has been going on in the church world. Now, what the Antichrist spirit does is that it takes the people's focus off from the spiritual. It takes their focus into the natural. So that is why you see that people are expectant of a man somewhere, or probably a pastor or a man of God, in quotes, who comes with the word every year. So people People wait 1 year, once in a year, to receive a word from God. Once in a year, to receive a word from God. And you call it a word of direction. I don't know whatever you label it, or that's up to you. I don't know what you label it, or whatever you label it. Okay, that's up to you. Now, whatever you label it, don't forget that what you label it is what turns to your illusion. Just like what happened to those people by the poolside.
Once you label it, that's what turns to your illusion.
Yes, that's what turns. Once you label whatever you label it, that's what turns to your illusion. Remember the word we say illusion. We said illusion is what? If you remember now. Okay? If you remember what we said about illusion. We said illusion is a wrong perception of a sensory experience. That means there was an experience that you saw that happened. So you misinterpreted that experience and you gave it a perception. And you now sit with that perception in your mind. That's an illusion. So probably you'll be waiting for a word from God for 1 month. Or you say, what is God saying for this month? What is God saying for this month? Hey, leave that in. God is speaking to you every day, every time. You are not
every minute. Sir, God is speaking every minute. You understand? So I think believers, it is time. It is time we started to understand all these things. It's time we start to understand all these things. That God speaks every time, right? That we can hear God for ourselves every time. God doesn't speak monthly.
So what we are waiting for, the web we are caught in is the web of the spectacular or the illusion. Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
The illusion. The spectacular.
Because assuming these people they understand, these people they understand the power of God, right? The power of God, and then the promise, is God God has made with them, right? They will not be waiting, and they understand the nature of God. They will not be waiting for one angel to be appearing every year to be healing just only one person.
And remember, these same people had the priests. They had the lineage of the
priests. They had priests that can heal them. Exactly.
Now, don't forget, these same priests, they were the one that came to fight Jesus because they've turned to carnal men. These same priests, they've already turned to carnal men already. They don't heal people anymore. So that means that's why they are fighting Jesus, because those ones, they are not in the work of healing anymore. But that was what Moses, one of the ministry that Moses appointed to them, to serve people healing. They should take people through a healing process. Remember, we studied that last time when we were studying on the anointing oil in the Old Testament, if you could remember. There was a study we did on that. Now, these same people, they were given the ministry of healing to minister to people. You understand? And countless times, it is all over the scriptures about the healings of God that happened, whether it was in the wilderness, or it was in Canaan, or it was even in Samaria with, what's this guy called? This guy that Elisha healed in Samaria. What's he called again? The king of Samaria, I think, right? I think the king of Samaria. Yes, that Elisha healed. Someone remind me. I'm not sure now. You understand? Okay. Now, wherever it is, the goodness of God is clearly displayed through the scripture. Now, but here, there was something that this pool has done. This pool has kept people in an illusion. In a web of illusion.
He has kept them in bondage. He has kept them in bondage.
Bondage. Wrong interpretation of God. Wrong perception of God. It has kept them in a wrong perception. Now, this is the same thing that is happening to us in the church world. We have caged God into a particular season, into a particular. So we have caged him. But Jesus now speaking, he said, God is spirit. And he said the spirit is like, you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know where it's going.
Exactly.
So that means it's stretched out. The spirit is stretched out from everlasting to everlasting. But we have caged God, and we now say we are waiting for one specific word from God, one specific thing from God within January to December. Then not only that, within 30 days, we are also waiting for another word again within 30 days from God. We have caged him. We've placed him in a box for him to be speaking with us. But that's not God. But that's not God. So what has happened to you is that you didn't cage God, you have caged your mind.
Exactly. Wow.
So what has happened to people is that they have caged their mind. They didn't cage God. They have caged their mind. They have caged their mind.
I just hope people are able to get this. I just hope
Yes.
people are able to get this because
Yes.
because this is so
Yes.
wonderful, as in
Yes.
so,
It has to be, first of all, on the character of God. If it's not on the
we have
character of God.
Exactly. We have to first understand the character of God. You can go over to it again. You can read it all over. I'm rounding up now, bro, wisdom, because we have spent 1 hour already. We have used up to 1 hour already. So
all right. What about questions? What about questions?
Okay, it's wonderful because we don't even know that we have used up to 1 hour, right? So if you have any question, you can type any question.
Okay, let's wait. Let's see. Do anybody have any question?
If you have any question. Also, I need to say these. In case if you want to watch this video again, you can share it on your page now so that others can be able to see it, and then also you'll be able to watch it again. And also, I'm going to post this video on YouTube. You can search for illusion of the Pool of Bethesda. You're going to see it. I'm going to post it on YouTube afterward. Wow. So it's a wonderful experience. If you have any questions, I'm seeing Bro James there, but I'm not seeing Bro James anymore. I think he's no more online. So I'm planning to bring Bro James.
Show me. It's like your face. It's like your face is not showing. You lower your camera down a bit.
Okay.
No. Raise it. Raise it up. Raise it up. All right. I believe it's showing now because someone said your face is not showing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yes.
So
now to round it up, before we even round it up, while I'm waiting for someone's question, let's talk about Jesus, the sweet man. Let's talk about Jesus. Let's talk about Jesus and what Jesus did there. Now Jesus hit this man and he walked away. Something spectacular. He didn't go back to meet the rest, because if he went back to meet the rest, he has to.
Before you go to that, let me quickly say this. Do you know that Jesus healed this man? He didn't take this man to that pool, right?
Yes.
How did Jesus heal this man? For you to know that pool is an illusion. How did Jesus Christ later heal this man?
The same way Moses, right? The same way Moses has been doing, the same way Elijah has been doing, the same way Elisha has been doing, by words.
Exactly.
By words. The same way, the same thing David did, the same thing Elisha did.
Exactly. So for you to know that, for you to know that thing is an illusion, right? And then the pool was created to keep people in bondage, right? Which is not from God. The pool is not from God in the first place.
It's not from God.
Angel, it's not from God. For you to know that they are intentionally created there to keep people in bondage. How did Jesus later heal this man? Because if there is truly an healing power from God, as in this pool, Jesus Christ would have put him inside this pool too, right? Or commanded the angel that, because Jesus Christ had the authority. He had the authority.
Yes.
He can command the angel that
you would have commanded the angel to come and steer this pool.
And steer this pool up. But Jesus Christ didn't do that. He had to tell the man, pick up your mat and go. You have the right to healing. That was what he was telling the man. You have the right to healing. So pick up your mat and go.
And leave.
Exactly.
And you know, he didn't go back to those people. He didn't go back to those other people that were around the pool, because he will have to go through the same process with everybody again.
Exactly.
Do you want to get well? And then each of them will start telling them their different version about the pool, about their experience of the pool, because they are already in a web of illusion. They will start telling them their different experiences. I remember there was someone that came here last 2 years. He has already gone. He's healed. He jumped inside this pool last year. He was the one that jumped inside. So they will start giving him various narrations. Remember, these are so many people. Everybody will start giving them their own story about they will be giving the mystery about this pool. You know, the way we like to decorate things. But God is simple.
Exactly.
God is simple. Just pick up your mat and go away.
And go. Exactly. Wow. So everybody, thank you for joining us today. Like I said, you can share the video so that you'll be able to view it later on, or your friends will be able to view it. So
Yes.
some other times too, we'll just come here to
Yes.
and
Any
to
question?
introduce.
Any question? We're waiting for anybody to share questions
I
before
think
we
I think
go.
I think I think people are not sharing also because I think they understood it. They understood.
Okay.
They now saw it. They saw it from
Okay.
different lights, right?
Yes.
From
Yes.
what they've used to believe before. Now I
Yes.
think they saw it
No,
from
everyone used to believe that this
different light.
pool is some mysterious pool from God, and this angel that is walking around this pool is the power of God. You know, everyone, we also had that perception. Thank God for the understanding of the
Exactly.
Spirit. But you cannot get, this is how you will check every story in the entire scripture that you read. But before you can be able to checkmate every story, you must first of all know the character of God. If you don't
Exactly.
know the character of God, you cannot checkmate a story.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because there is mystery around every story.
Exactly.
Mm,
Exactly.
mm.
So thank you so much,
Yeah.
bro Wisdom. It's really nice to
Thank you.
have this moment with you. I know it's
Thank you.
very late
Thank you.
in the country where you are right now, and for you to
Yes.
spare your time to be with us today.
Thank you so
It's
much.
so bright,
Thank you for having me.
so nice to have
Thank you
you.
for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody,
you
for
so much.
joining.
Thank you so much. So goodbye, everybody.
Thank you. Cheers.